Hey guys, Bridget here. In this video, we're going to learn the core principles of Figma's auto layout so that you can create websites and web apps which have scalable components that are easy to use and creating layouts which are flexible. Now, let's get started with the basic. As you can see over here, we have our auto layout element which you can spot in the layers panel because you're going to have these two squares which are going to look slightly different depending on the auto layout settings, which we're going to see in just a moment. But as you can see, we are essentially having this container group element which contains the two layers beneath it. So every auto layout is simply going to be a container, essentially, which is going to style and organize the layout in a specific way. So in order to create our very first auto layout element, we're simply going to actually just borrow this text. So I'm going to, copy it or duplicate it right here. And in order to create our very first auto layout, you simply want to right click and you're going to see the add auto layout option, which you can also prompt by using Shift plus A. Now, at this point, you're going to notice that the container elements are going to have a little bit of padding around, and you're also going to notice that you have the auto layout icon here under the layers panel. So we successfully created the auto layout, and at this point, we're going to add a fill so that we can see better what's going on. Now, you're going to notice that whenever you have an auto layout element, you will have access to these options right here, which is what we are actually really interested in. So let's get started by actually duplicating a few times this text, and we're going to see how auto layout is actually going to help us quite a bit. So for example, we can stack it vertically, and this is going to apply automatically to all of the elements inside of the auto layout, as well as horizontally, which is going to be the default. So even here, if I want to change the direction, I can easily do that. And we also have a wrap, which is going to essentially wrap the element around the items. Now, on top of that, we have some other options which I prefer to show you directly from here since we have just two elements and it's going to be even easier. We can have the gap, which is going to set the horizontal gap between the objects, and we can also adjust the padding horizontally. So this is going to see basically adjust the horizontal padding, as you can see, and this one is going to adjust the vertical padding. Now, what about these situations where you just want to adjust the padding on the left-hand side, which, as you can see, I can adjust directly by clicking on it and then adjusting the individual element. We say that I wanted to organize it and adjust it in a way which is very precise, and I don't want to fiddle with these visual elements. Well, Figma has our back covered because we can simply click on this icon right here, and this is going to prompt the individual padding. So I can literally just adjust the individual padding directly from this padding section. Now you can also clip the content. This one, similarly to the frames, is going to clip the content if it goes outside of the auto layout elements. And another really useful element which we want to talk about is going to be the alignment, because this is something that you're going to utilize quite often in the auto layout journey that you have ahead. So let's go ahead and let's duplicate this Figma logo, or actually let's just keep it simple for now. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to increase the width and the vertical height of this element. And as you can see, the dimensions are going to be set right here. You also have all of the regular dimension options, which you usually find in frames and in other elements. So you're going to be quite familiar with those already. And you can see that based on the alignment I select, I can easily change the auto layout alignment of the objects. And this is going to apply even if I add more items. So this is actually where the auto layout feature really starts shining, especially once you start combining elements and adding different auto layouts. So what I did here is I actually added an auto layout over here and an auto layout to this other group so that we have two auto layout elements. Now you can start changing the direction and basically adjusting items so that they're going to follow a specific logic. Now, as a general note, auto layout is going to be really useful, especially in your UI, UX, and web app design projects, because a lot of the times you want to have a level of consistency and flexibility within the components that you're creating. And auto layout is going to help with all sorts of different use case scenarios, some of which we're going to look at in future videos. But for example, even having elements with the same padding consistently, or having the same alignment and gaps in between, and just general appearance is going to be really, really useful, as well as it enables you to create designs faster in several scenarios. In some scenarios, you might want to utilize the regular frames and groups because it's going to be more efficient. But we're going to talk about this in future videos. So hope this video was helpful. If you have any specific question about auto layout, feel free to reach out to me or leave a question below, and I'll try to answer it. And if you want to learn more about UI, UX, and web design, I have over 900 videos sharing my over decade of experience in the field. So feel free to check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.